What's happening, dudes? I have a monstrosity on the table here. Look at this. This is a Medford, and I'm not even sure what model it is. Maybe it's those numbers right there. I don't know. I think the name of the knife is a sequence of numbers, I believe, and I just can't remember what they are. This was lent to me by a buddy, letting me check it out. This is the first time I've really spent a lot of time with a Medford and really handled one, felt how insanely beefy it was, and I have some thoughts that I want to share with you guys. So, first, please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Look down there and see that you are. Actually, if you're not, and also like the video while you're over there. So I want to do some size comparisons so I can show you guys how crazy, super duper big this is. Let's get out the mini pyrite. How about a big knife? Cold steel 8010. Let's do a thickness comparison. Pretty similar on thickness. The Medford, though, is longer by a pretty significant amount. 3/4 of an inch, maybe. Let's do a Benchmade shootout, maybe. Oh, dog hair. Oh, dog hair still. Was it stuck in there? There we go. Maybe a Spyderco Native 5. And let's do the old Rat 2. It's massive. It's really big. And beefy too. Very beefy. Now I believe they do this thing for whatever reason where these scales are the same thickness as the blade stock. So I want to get the calipers and see if that is true. By the way, these scales are full, obviously full titanium, and there's no milling whatsoever on the inside. These are full thickness. I don't, you hear the term slabs of titanium a lot in the EDC community, knife world. And I don't like that. I don't like that. It bugs me. Slabs of titanium. But if I were ever to say it, this would be the time. Because these are true slabs of titanium, if I've ever seen them. 188 thousandths blade stock thickness, which is, let's get the ruler out, see what that is in fractions. That's, well, let's see. That's like 3/16. It's really, really thick. See, is the blade stock the same? 190 thousandths. Very close, 188 thousandths. Very close, not exactly the same. What's the blade steel here? I don't know. Definitely doesn't say anywhere. Yeah, I have no idea. There's a serial number here, and that number is also on the inside of each scale. So, from what I understand, Medford makes these scales specifically for their blade, and they want to keep those things together. I remember I was watching Greg Medford talk about the assembly of his knives once, and he was saying something about, go ahead and disassemble your Medford, but make sure that you put the washers on the side that they came from, because they use different thickness washers to get the blade centered. Basically, they do whatever they need to do in the pivot by adding or taking away washers to get the centering perfect. Now, I've never heard of anyone doing that before. Why? Why? Is their machining and their measurements that off to where they need to compensate for discrepancies in the tolerances by adding or subtracting washers to get the centering right? I don't know. I just never heard that before. I don't know if that's common practice or not. The anodization on this titanium is really beautiful. I will say that. Very, very nice. Also on this titanium clip, this finishing is very, even on the blade, the surface finish on all of this is really cool. I love, it's kind of got a unique finish on the blade. I've only seen this on Medfords, and I'm not sure exactly what it is that's different on this, but it's just feels different, looks different. Um, it's a Tanto blade shape, a really weird Tanto with like a drop down tip. Um, you have the Medford emblem here with the number 9. Not sure what that is for. Um, big old pivot milled with proprietary hardware. Requires a special tool to mess with the pivot. Big old clip, milled clip. Tension is pretty good though. I thought it would be like crazy stiff, but it's not. It's actually pretty good. Huge barrel spacers, external stop pins in both the closed and open positions, and there's no secondary stop pin. This is not a stop pin right here. It's just a barrel spacer. The blade never touches that. So the external stop pins are used solely in both the open and closed positions, which is kind of cool. I don't know why I think it's cool, but a lot of times you'll see if there's external stop pins, you'll see there's also a regular stop pin back here. They're kind of doubling up for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. This is a knife that I don't see any use for, any practical use for. I just don't see it. I cannot think of a scenario where having this knife on you would be better than having something slicier, smaller, and lighter weight. I don't see it. I can't think of a scenario. If you can think of one, let me know. Tell me in the comments. Also, I can't figure out who's buying these. The guy that lent this to me said that he bought it just to have a Medford. He knew he wasn't going to carry it. It was on sale, or he got a deal or something, and just bought it almost as like a joke. You know what I mean? Almost as like, I know this is ridiculous, but I'm just going to buy it just to kind of chuckle at it in my head when I play with it. And if I was making knives, I would not want that to be what people thought of my knives. I would want people to think, man, this is going to be a great tool for me to use and cut with, and maybe even if it came to it, save my life one day in a survival situation or something like that, That would be what I would want people to think. Not, oh, these knives are just ridiculously huge and impractical. Maybe I'll buy it just to play with it. That's not what I would want people to think about my stuff. So, and maybe that's not the case, but it seems like anyone I've talked to, that is the case. So, again, let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. It's just, let's weigh it. 8.3 ounces. Just for comparison, let's get out another big knife. The Shaman, maybe? And this is even wearing aluminum scales. 4.6. 8.2. Almost double the weight of the Shaman. Not quite, but almost. How's it going to cut? I don't know. Huge, thick blade stock. The hollow grind is pretty not wide. Like, if it went taller up on the blade, I feel like it'd be a better cutter. It's only about half of the width of the blade, which is kind of odd. Look at all this extra flat here. I've never seen that much flat on a blade ever, I don't think. Let's measure behind the edge. It feels, decently thin. Let's see. Actually, it's not. 25 thousandths. Yeah, I was mistaken. 24 thousandths there, and then up here at the Tanto area, it's about 23. Not thin behind the edge. Not insane thick. It's not as thick as some other knives I've seen, but it's thick for sure. The ergos it feels very blocky. The corners are knocked down, but they're knocked down. They're not rounded whatsoever. It feels very blocky. You feel those edges as you're gripping the knife. You absolutely feel the edges. There's a sharp corner right here. There's jimping back here that's supposed to help, but it actually just digs into my pinky, the corners of it. There's jimping right here for a reverse grip. Interesting, you know. The action. It's such a heavy blade, and there's not a lot of detent, so you know, you really, and I'm gonna flick as hard as I can right now without moving my hand at all. Okay, here we go. Okay, I can't get it out. I thought maybe I wouldn't. It's not slamming out, but it's going. It's going out for sure. If I put it upright, I flick as hard as I can. Can I get it open? Not quite. No, it's too heavy. Oh, there I did it. It's a finger workout, let me tell you. If I was carrying and using this knife, I would slow roll it out like this if I was going to use it. You can also kind of do some wrist flick kind of thing. You could do that too. The choke up spot, the choil choke up area, it's roomy enough to get a finger in. If you have bigger or fatter fingers, maybe not, but I can get my finger in there. You can see the detent hole right there showing on the outside. That kind of bugs me. So overall, I love the finish. Everything is shiny and polished and looks very nice. And that's kind of where it ends for me. I don't see any practical purpose to have this. You know, you could buy it just to play around with it, but that's an expensive fidget toy. You know, and another thing is you always see these sitting in knife retailer websites. Have you ever gone through like new arrivals or whatever on like, I don't know, anywhere? DLT, Blade HQ, Knife Center, Rivers Cutlery. You'll see a bunch of Medfords just sitting, and a bunch of them, sometimes pages and pages. So they're pumping these things out, man. They're making a lot of these things, and they're still a company. They've survived this long, so someone's got to be buying them, right? Who's buying them? That's what I want to know. Who is buying Medfords? Please tell me. Let me know in the comments. Please let me know. Because, yeah, I just can't think of the scenario. So, anyways, there's my thoughts on a Medford. Please like the video before you leave. I'd appreciate it. I'll see you soon. Later.